Dear students, welcome to package 2, and before we start our chapter 14, just I want to show you one of the milestone in the research. Here we see that there has been a relationship between the itch and the mental health. That shows that if our body has itch at any place, here you see the itch is on the skin, on the back, and here the on the thighs and on the shins, and we have different kinds of uncontrollable itching. It has direct relationship with our mental health, and it is a breakthrough study, and that's why I wanted to share it, that where itch is not a normal thing, right? And itch can be relevant with our mental health. So that's why if you ever feel any kind of itching, uncontrollable itching because of any reason, don't take it lightly. It is going to cause a mental stress or anxiety in our health, right? So this was just an information and I wanted to share it with you. And here we are going to start our chapter 14, and that is signal transduction mechanisms. And here in this portion we are going to find out some basic concepts and something about the types of different receptors, like the G protein coupled receptors, like the receptor tyrosine kinases, hormonal receptors, etc. So basic concepts of the signaling we will cover in this chapter, then the G protein coupled receptors, then the protein kinase receptors, and then the hormonal signaling that we are going to cover in this chapter here, right? So what is receptor, what is ligand, what is signal, and what is signal transduction? So receptor, it is a signal receiving substance. Just three words you need to remember: signal receiving substance. The location of the receptor is most probably on the surface of the cell membrane, yet there are some receptors which are present in the cytoplasm. Those receptors are known as cytosolic receptors, and those receptors have different functions as far as the steroids applications are concerned, right? But for the time being, you need to understand that the most of the receptors are present on the cell membrane. And what is the ligand? Ligand is signal containing substance. Just again, three words definition of ligand: signal containing substance. This is the substance, this is the molecule that will travel and find a receptor on the cell. Okay, and what is the signal? It is a message that is sent from one cell or from one organism to another cell or another organism. That okay, and the complete cascade of the signal from in the form of ligand to find a receptor, it is known as the signal transduction, right? So it is a kind of ability of a cell to translate the message received from the ligand through the receptor, and this is going to cause change in the expression of the genes present within the cell. So that's is signal transduction, and we will see the details of the signal transduction. What is the meaning of transduction? Anybody know what does that mean? Just the word transduction, what does that mean? This one, it means whenever the medium is changed. For example, we use cell phones, okay, and in the cell phones the electrical signal is converted into a sound signal. So that is a transduction. From one media to another media the signal is converted, and that kind of conversion is known as a transduction. So the message is converted into some other media, some other medium. Okay, so that's why we call it as a signal transduction, right? Okay, so this is the cartoon showing that how this is a ligand, this is a message containing substance, and this is a receptor, message receiving substances, that is present on the surface of the cell membrane, right? And then it received the signal, it transduced it, and then we have a cascade. Cascade means that a series of reactions in a particular direction, right? So after this, a series of events result in the response. Okay, we get the ligand attaches to the receptor. After attachment, there is a series of events, and after that events there is a response. Okay, so this is a summary of the signal transduction. So the first step is the signal perception, this one, and the second step is the intracellular signal transduction. This one is the second step, how different events are being managed. So these, why so many events are done by the nature, you know, we have 7-8 different steps over here. Why? I will ask you in our class discussion and question that why nature has so many intermediate steps in signal transduction. Okay, so you can prepare in the meantime that why that is necessary. So the final step is the response. Of course, this message is something important, and this message is from some other cell, from some other organism, from some other organ of the same organism, and it has to give some response. For example, if an insulin hormone is there as a ligand, and that insulin hormone is going to bind with a specific receptor, as a result, what happens? The glucose is controlled within the cell, so that control of the glucose will be the response. Okay, so this is the simplest of the example I can quote here. So human nose can detect 1 trillion orders. Oh my god. So this is a new studies also. Before we have a previous estimate that only 10,000 cents we can detect with our nose, but now 1 trillion different orders. So that means that we have lots of receptors that can do this wonderful job, right? So those receptors are present in our nose, and here again taste. These are the basic 5 basic tastes, and tastes again they are dependent on the receptors. You know, receptors are present in our tongue, and those receptors help us recognize the taste: sour taste, salty taste, sweet, bitter, umami taste, whatever the taste is, that taste buds actually contain in our within our tongue, and that taste receptors can detect again thousands of different tastes. Okay, and one other information for you as far as coronavirus is concerned, that the sense of smell and the sense of taste is gone in most of the patients. Okay, this has been confirmed. So this is a coronavirus age, so that's why I wanted to share it with you, that in confirmed coronavirus patients, most of the patients, they have described that they can't smell, they can't feel the taste of anything, and they can't differentiate between different smells. So that's very strange thing in a viral infection. So as far as the basic concepts are concerned, the signal is received, and all the cells they receive the signals, they have to convert it into a kind of chemical signals, or the signals that can produce the messenger, or secondary messengers, and the secondary messengers can go further into different steps and give a response. So that's why you know, in different parts of our body, in the adult human body and even in the embryonic stage, there is a sophisticated machinery for these changes to be detected in our surroundings, right? So the receptors perform these abilities, and receptors have these abilities, and they perform these functions quite well. If there is any problem in any kind of receptor, then the signal is not received properly by the cell, and that will result in the malfunctioning of the cell. Okay, so we have 4 different types of signals: endocrine, paracrine, juxtacrine, and autocrine signals. Endocrine means, you know, inside these are produced, signals are produced at a different target tissues, and they are carried through the circulatory system. And then we have paracrine signals. They are very short range